So as you guys may know, Finn actually used to be one of the co-hosts on the channel before he sadly departed from us and went on to brighter ventures. So I've actually been wondering what he's been up to recently. You guys know I like to react to different channels each time I do one of these reaction videos. So today I thought I would go ahead and visit FBfragrances YouTube channel and see what he's been up to recently. Now, 3 weeks ago, he put out this video, Fragrances I Regret Buying. And I always like seeing these kind of videos because it's interesting. You know, everyone likes to see what are your top compliment getters, what are your positive experiences with fragrances, but just as important, guys, is what are the negative experiences you've had with fragrances, because sometimes your mistakes can be more of a lesson than your successes. So let's watch this video together for the first time.
My name is Finn, you probably know me as FBfragrances, and welcome back to the channel.
Finn usually is on TikTok, and I just feel like, you know, the transition from TikTok to long form content can be very challenging, but I feel like Finn just nailed it so quickly, much faster than I did personally. I miss you, Finn. Please come back.
In my past 2.5 years of living life, I've spent around $6,000 on cologne and have around 80 bottles behind me.
Rookie numbers, Finn. Wait until you're going into bankruptcy and, you know, you're homeless with about 400 bottles all around you. That's when you know you're really deep into the game. I'm just kidding. Please don't let anyone do that. Always purchase fragrances responsibly.
Believe it or not, I am not just telling you this to flex. I'm telling you this because around $2,000 of that $6,000 is colognes I've bought that I never wear, that I deeply regret buying, and there is nothing worse than the feeling of regret.
This is such an important point. I always say on the channel, go for quality, not quantity. Probably with everything you buy actually in life is my recommendation. You shouldn't be buying waste, things you're not going to use, just cluttering up your home, or just, you know, just destroying your wallets. Go for one of each style, or take your time with fragrances, go for samples, really slow down your spending is my recommendation also. Okay, let's proceed to Finn's fragrance buying regrets. If you want to see the full video, guys, you can just click on the link in the description down below. We'll have a link there.
In honor of that wasted $2,000, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 of the colognes that I regret buying the most, in hopes that maybe you can learn a thing or two, not necessarily to put you off buying them, just to help you maybe reconsider your buying decisions. I'm not proud to admit it, but I bought Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir pretty much solely due to the TikTok hype surrounding it. When this came out, I believe around a year ago now, the amount of hype for this was out of this world. Every second swipe on TikTok was either news to do with this fragrance, someone smelling it for the first time, a review, and I fell for the hype. Everyone was saying it was amazing, the best Jean-Paul Gaultier fragrance ever created, so I blind bought it.
So yeah, it got a lot of hype, and understandably. I actually think it's a solid scent. I personally did not buy a full bottle, because I don't really care for it that much. I actually think it's a very clean, easy to love vanilla scent. If you want simple vanilla perfumery, sort of like a replacement to something like Versace Eros in a more modern way. I think it's better than Eros actually personally, then go for it. But if you're interested in more weird stuff like I am, like Kuros for example, then yeah, Le Male Elixir isn't that exciting. But I still give it a 9 out of 10. 32% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys want to see our channel grow, to really help us out, click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you.
My second biggest fragrance regret is going to be a fragrance from the niche brand Mancera, and that is Tonka Cola. I have hardly worn this fragrance myself. Pretty much all that has been used in this bottle is from samples, and it's not necessarily because of the smell. Just off the cap, when I spray it in the air, it smells delicious. The Coca-Cola note though is just very hard to wear. It's very hard to pull off. Every time I've worn this fragrance, I don't get compliments from it. I just get, oh, you smell kind of interesting. Like, is that, I've had someone be like, is that Coke? Like, you smell like a Coke bottle. And that's just not the vibe I want to give off.
Yeah, actually, I had the same issue with Tonka Cola. I got a partial bottle from a Facebook swapping and selling group. And although I like the idea, I feel like it's a very specific kind of scent for a specific kind of person who likes really weird, creative perfumery, a really artistic type of person. Maybe if you're the kind of person who enjoys Versace the Dreamer, I could see you wearing something like Tonka Cola. It's a cool cherry Tonka-based Coca-Cola scent that is very long-lasting, musky, intense, a little bit synthetic, but it's a cool idea that does recreate that picture, which is cool. I think it's nice, but when do you wear it? You have to be a really artistic person, I think, to wear a signature like that. I think it's a signature scent for a very specific individual.
The third fragrance that I regret buying is Dior Sauvage Elixir. Not this one here. I wear Sauvage EDP all the time, especially for the gym. I've noticed a lot of people think that's crazy. Every time I mention that, I get at least one comment being like, Dior Sauvage to the gym is crazy.
Yeah, actually, I used to wear Dior Sauvage EDP to work. Got me a lot of compliments. A really nice, safe, versatile scent, but maybe not in the summertime. That's the only season it doesn't really work in.
Dior Sauvage Elixir, the reason I'm not holding it in my hands is because I sold it. It was one of the first fragrances I ever bought. I think it was the 5th fragrance I ever bought. I bought Versace Eros, then Dior Sauvage, and then I bought a couple others, and then I bought Sauvage Elixir afterwards. I don't know why I bought it. I think, again, I kind of fell into the hype because I bought it at its release, and everyone was saying it's a very unique take on Sauvage. It's masculine, it's worth the money. So I spent around $220 on it.
Yeah, actually, I have the exact same story, basically, ad verbatim to what Finn just said about Sauvage Elixir. It got a lot of hype initially. It still gets a lot of praise now. Beastly, new, unique take on Sauvage. Everyone was very excited, and I think it is a cool scent, and I did something very similar. I didn't sell my bottle, but I gave it away to a friend who really likes the DNA, and I still smell the DNA, Sauvage Elixir specifically, quite frequently, actually. People, just random guys walking around will be wearing it. I think it's a cool scent, extremely intense, extremely strong, spicy, masculine perfumery. It's got that ambroxan in there, still some lavender in there, but it is just super intense, a little bit Middle Eastern smelling actually, and I think it's a little bit more mature, more luxurious take on the Sauvage DNA and a less versatile flanker as well. If you want a cold weather signature that screams masculinity, go for it. I find it a very cloying and annoying fragrance personally. That's why I give it an 8 out of 10. Even with 2 sprays in the wintertime, I really did not like wearing it. I found it really annoying. Hence why I also agree with Finn here and why I gave it away.
Fragrance regret numero 4 is gonna be Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. You guys know how much I love this fragrance, so instantly you might be questioning, how is this dude gonna go from saying it's in his top 5 fragrances of all time to saying he regrets it? The reason I regret it is because the hole in my bank account that this thing brought me cannot offset any fragrance, no matter how good it smells, no matter how well it performs. The price of this thing is just ridiculous. I'm always gonna regret having put my bank account through that trauma. No, but seriously though, this thing costed like 400 Australian dollars just for this 50ml bottle. It is so expensive that I'm scared to wear this. I limit myself to wearing it like once a fortnight because each spray, that's like $1. That's $1 gone right there. Another reason I regret buying this is because now that I know I love the smell, I think I'm just gonna buy one of the hundreds of amazing dupes available for this and just wear that instead. For example, Haramain makes a fantastic dupe of this, forgot what it's called, and then Mason Alhambra Tobacco Touch is apparently also an amazing dupe.
Yeah, well done, Finn. I think Finn probably does still watch my videos, or maybe he watched my Tobacco Vanille commentary back in the day. I always say that yes, the Tom Ford Private Blend line is becoming more expensive in general. Finn is right, that probably now more and more Tom Ford Private Blend stuff is just not worth the money, and especially with Tobacco Vanille, it is kind of criminal that it's that price tag when something like Al Haramain's Amber Oud Tobacco Edition gets it so right, so close. And I'm not a clone hyping guy. I don't really like clones, so you know, if I'm saying this, it's definitely something to pay attention to. That fragrance gets us super close to Tobacco Vanille, probably for like a quarter of the price. That is a fragrance I recommend. It makes Tobacco Vanille redundant. I agree with Finn.
I'm gonna do a little bonus regret, and that is gonna be Initio's Blessed Baraka. Right now, I'm holding Initio Absolute Aphrodisiac. I ended up selling Blessed Baraka and buying this instead, and I don't regret it at all.
Okay, I need to kind of remind myself what Blessed Baraka actually is. I tried the sample set a while ago. I've got them all mixed up in my head. I kind of feel like Initio does that. A lot of their scents is all like ambery, evening perfumery, so it all kind of gets muddled in your mind. Actually, yeah, I remember this being a more musky scent. I'm surprised actually this is made by Alberto Marias. I didn't realize he made some Initio fragrances. I actually remember Blessed Baraka being one of my more favorite scents from the brand. I actually probably still think Paragon is still my favorite from the brand overall, but this was actually a pretty good scent that still leaned a little bit more feminine, but I think for a guy, he could still rock it definitely. And I just think this is a really sexy DNA. Ambery, musky, balanced, powdery perfumery. I think this is a really solid scent, actually, from what I remember. I wonder why Finn didn't like it.
Blessed Baraka for me was a very silly blind buy. One, you should never blind buy a fragrance in general. Two, you should never blind buy a niche fragrance. And three, you should never blind buy a complex fragrance.
What do you guys think of that statement? Do you think you should never blind buy a fragrance in general? Agree or disagree?
Blessed Baraka is a very interesting, unique fragrance. It's very musky, it's animalic. It is not going to be for everyone, and it definitely was not for me. The smell did not work with my skin. It just smelled like a little bit sweaty, to be honest, and the performance was very lackluster.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's the issue with blind buying for sure. You just don't know how your specific skin chemistry is going to work out with a fragrance. So really, yeah, never just test on paper strips if you are going to test the fragrance. Always apply on your skin as well. Overall though, I still think Blessed Baraka is a fragrance to check out.
This final fragrance regret is going to annoy a lot of people. It's going to make people question their life choices, but it is actually stronger with you, absolutely. I've noticed in the fragrance community, especially the community outside of TikTok, it seems like everyone much prefers absolutely over stronger with you intensely. But I completely disagree.
Just so you know, yes, I personally prefer absolutely over intensely. Intensely kind of goes more in one direction, pure sweetness with that caramel / toffee notes. I prefer absolutely kind of going a little bit more multifaceted with the aroma notes instead. They're very similar overall, but I think absolutely just a little bit less sweeter than intensely also. But at the same time, I am a hypocrite because actually I was gifted absolutely by Armani themselves. So I can't criticize Finn too much here.
To me, the booziness done in absolutely does not smell well blended at all. I'm a sucker for boozy fragrances. For example, one of my favorite fragrances of all time is Kilian's Angel Share, which I really do need to get, but I do not enjoy the boozy rum aspect of absolutely. To me, Intensely has a much more addictive quality to it. It smells heavier on the vanilla. There's a caramel toffee vibe. I like that it smells more youthful. I always reach for this one over Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I would say actually that Absolutely as a flanker is a little bit more mature compared to Intensely. They're both not that mature. They're both probably easy to rock from people in their 20s anyways. But yeah, I would say Absolutely is a little bit more mature, a little bit more multifaceted. If you want the more youthful version of something like Absolutely, go for Azzaro The Most Wanted. More simplistic, more youthful, probably has some similarities to Stronger With You Intensely also. All three are all similar to Stronger With You, the DNA in general. That DNA in general is really influencing a lot of fragrances out there in the industry big time.
That is going to wrap it up on my 5 biggest fragrance regrets, plus that one bonus one. You're a real one if you have stayed to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications.
I am indeed a real one because myself and now all of you have stayed to the very end kind of Finn's video. So I thought that was great. I really do enjoy these videos about fragrance regrets. What do you guys think about the fragrances listed here in Finn's list? Have you tried them? Are there any fragrances that you personally regret buying? Let us know in the comments down below, guys. And make sure you go to FBfragrances. Finn is really popping off. Go show him some love. And I think he will be one of the big stars on YouTube very soon. I miss you, Finn. Please come back. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video. Make sure to check out our previous reaction video up here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.